My people don't want to see me or any of my siblings struggle. Now, this next part is just for my people, okay? In the Black community, we talk about generational wealth, and we talk about how there needs to be support from within, and then when we're trying to do that, there are some of y'all that have a problem with that. I'm not going to say all, because I'm not going to generalize everybody. But some of y'all do have a problem with that. And my family,
it's the lighting is orange, and I'm on the Android.
My dad never moved out of his home. Me and my siblings were raised in that household. And when my mom left her mom's
what's
home,
funny is
when she got married,
Kaylin, you know, you guys probably know who Kaylin is, went viral for a video that is going re-viral again, talking about living at your parents' house, and people telling her that she needs to move out of her parents' house, right? Because she's in her 20s, right? And people are saying like, oh, you need to move out of your house, because she said that some people aren't financially stable and can't move out of their house. It's really difficult because people are still going through it because of the pandemic. And then this comment she was replying to, she literally said that her mom didn't move out till her mom was like in her 30s. And this is a problem that people have. They want like you know how people are trying to like get her to move out more than her parents are. And that's what she was saying. People want me to move out more than my parents do. And it's the same situation, right? Like, I'm like, why are people so concerned about me moving out more than my parents are? My dad literally told me he really, like, he didn't like the idea of me moving on my own. And I was like, well, if I'm able to, I want to. I'm not 30. I'm 28. I don't know what people think. This is the thing. I don't know what people thinks about age. Do you think age is an insult? You're going to be 30 one day. Okay? You're going to be an old, decrepit, crippled person. Right? Because with old age comes a lot of pain. Eventually you will need a walker to walk. This isn't like dissing crippled people. But let's be honest. So why do you act like you ain't gonna be 30? What's with the age insults? Age is not an insult. You're 30. Okay. You're not stating the obvious because I'm 29. But if I was 30, you would be stating the obvious. But nobody cares because why? Like, age is not an insult. So what? You're immature, okay? So if you want to do the age thing, then we could go there. You're immature. You don't know anything about life, and you need to grow up eventually. Right now, you're not grown, so you shouldn't even be talking about adult business when you're not an adult. You shouldn't even be talking about another adult's personal business, right? Oh, now I'm mad because I said someone was immature. Well, if they never want to grow up like Peter Pan, then they should leave people alone, right? Instead of thinking that age is an insult. Because I can do the age thing all day. I could say you act like you're 2 and throw a toddler tantrum if I wanted to. You're 12, but you act like you're 2, right? I'm just going to assume your age. And I'm not saying that I'm fighting with a 12-year-old, and don't go there because I know someone's going to be like, so you're saying you're fighting with a 12-year-old? No, I'm saying you act 12, but really, who knows your age? And then if you want to dumb it down, you're 2, okay? Like, since you want to do the age insults. Age as an insult is not an insult. I am going to be 30. I'm going to be 29 this year, 30 next year. You're going to be 30. We're all going to be 30. You're going to be 50. We're all going to be 50. You're going to be 40. We're all going to be 40. That's if you make it long enough to live to 50. Because some people, you know, natural causes do take them earlier than most. And young people have been dying from natural causes in their sleep like old people. So that's the thing. But Like if you do make it that long, because you can't just assume your life is always promised, because life is never promised to you. You wake up lucky enough that you're still breathing, and we should all be thankful for that. But past that, age is not an insult. Like, it was like today I was on someone's live stream and they were like, "You're 40." They were telling him, and it was like, okay, you think that's an insult because your mom was once 30. So what does that say about your mother, right? If you're going to make fun of someone for their age, please be mindful that your grandmother was once 30. Your grandfather was once 30. Your siblings are going to be 30, and your mom was once 30. So what insult is that? That's like saying your mom's 30. Okay, well, that's not even an insult. That's literally a middle school comeback that failed, right? Because at that point, it was a poorly told comeback in middle school that, like, you thought everyone would laugh, but they weren't laughing with you, they were laughing at you. That's like if you fell flat on your face because you tripped. So middle school of you to literally say you're 30. Is that the best you could come up with? Come up with something better. And I can truly help you come up with something better. It's called Google. Use it. You know, since you were probably born after Google and don't know how to use it. Okay? But there's stuff out there for you. It's called Google for Dummies. Get that book too. I'm pretty sure there's a book called Google for Dummies, and it could really help you. Because let's be honest, you want to be like, oh, we don't know any of that. Like, you're ancient. I'm not ancient, bro. Okay.
A mixture of ají amarillo, which is one of the peppers from Peru, and I use the banana leaves when grilling the brancino because it works.
I got 5 things for you, and I'm getting about your way. Number 1, there are some things that I genuinely believe should be taken to the grave with us, which leads me to point number 2. I recognize that this is more than likely a skit, so I'm not going to diagnose and/or speak to the character of this individual. I'm going to speak to the sentiment, which leads me to point number 3. If you invite somebody out on a date, it's always been understood that you're going to pay, which leads me to point number 4. Why y'all going places broke? Because at the end of the day, things will always go awry. So why don't you have your own money? Which leads me to point number 5. Long are the days gone where things just don't make it to social media. To whereby you can literally have a dialogue with an individual, come to a conclusion with an individual.
Excuse me.
And that be that.
Thank you for the roses. It's just like,
I'm sure dating in 2023 is so ghetto.
it's just like, if you don't have anything else to say, like, let's just be honest. It's just a basic old, you're 30. You live with your parents. You're broke. You can't pay your bills. Pay your bills. I'm the one paying for this room $320 a week. Now, ask yourself, how am I paying? With what money? Because you say, with what money? My hard-earned money, right? It's just like, oh, like, I don't care at this point. The basic things that people tell me are the things that people keep constantly saying over and over again that just doesn't get to me because you haven't said anything that I haven't heard. There's lots of people who are broke. There's people who can't pay their bills and probably still live with their parents, right? While trying to save and having a 9-to-5 job. So let's stop thinking that a 9-to-5 job solves the world problems. Because the problem is a corporation making paycheck to paycheck, dollar to dollar. You go work 2 jobs, okay? It was like Kayla was saying that she didn't want to stress herself out working a bunch of jobs. I don't want to either. Why should I have to work 5 jobs just to pay all my bills? You go work 5 jobs to pay your bills. Thank you. Okay? No one wants to work all these jobs just to be stressed out. I'm not going to go work 2 jobs just to live paycheck to paycheck and not even be able to pay my bills and end up having to work 5 jobs just to make enough that one paycheck will make at one job. There's no point in working 5 jobs that equates to the same amount that I would get working 1 job. It's the math ain't mathin'. Like, your brain up there does not compute, right? You're not a human calculator. Like, come on. You have to wake up and realize you're in the real world, right? You live in delusions of grandeur, like the saying from Star Wars, delusions of grandeur. If you think people are going to be rich by working a 9-to-5 job, like, people have been in my live streams being like, well, if you had a 9-to-5 job, this wouldn't happen. If I had a 9-to-5 job, it still would have happened. Look at how people are living out of their car, sleeping out of their car, sleeping in the streets, working a 9-to-5 job, and you tell me that it still wouldn't happen? Like, y'all sit here, be mindless, clueless, brainless. Your 2 brain cells are fighting for oxygen because you don't understand or seem to grasp the real world. I do not want to work 3 to 5 jobs just to make enough money to barely even survive. I want to have generational wealth so my kids never have to worry. If my kid wants to go to college, I could put money down and say, I got all the money you need to pay for your college, instead of having them have to worry about go to work and college. I don't want to ever have to live off my parents again. So why is it such a problem that I know what I want, but you don't know what you want? Because you think that working 5 jobs is fun. For some people, it's not. It's not logical and realistic. There is no way in heck that I would physically, right? And I know people are going to make fun of my weight, but that's not the issue. There is no possible way someone can physically work 5 jobs. Not even the healthiest person could stand on their feet and work 5 jobs. Let's just be totally honest. You'd be tired at the end of the day. Having to go from one job to another job to another, and making sure that you get all of the day's work done because you only work 1 day a week because you have to work 5 jobs just to even make enough, which is the minimum wage. One job isn't going to cut it. You get paid hourly, right? And let's say it's like $11 an hour, which is what I think minimum wage is in New Mexico, $11 an hour. Okay, so how much will you have made in 1 hour? $11. If you work 8 hours, how much is that? Thank you for the gift point. So the fact that you guys literally treat people horrible just because of their situation. I pay this room $320 a week. We're surviving because of me. Working hard. Something that you can't say that you do. People want to go in live streams and tell me to pay my bills, but they don't pay theirs. And it's like, why are you coming at me? I wasn't even rude to you. I was never rude to certain people, but it annoys me when people come at me like, pay your bills in other people's live streams. Why don't you worry about yourself? Because I wouldn't tell you to go pay your bills. It's none of my business whether your bills are paid or not. Because my bills ain't going to get paid if I'm worried about whether or not your bills are getting paid. You sound like all those people that be yelling and screaming and talking bad about how bad other people are out from their car, while having to sleep with men to have a place to stay. Because that's real life. Okay, you sound like the same exact people who be complaining but sleeping out of their car about everyone else because they're too focused in someone else's business. You see, that's going to get you in trouble, because if you're too focused about someone else's business / whatever it is, your hygiene must be failing. You must be broke as shit. Only got 1 penny. Because let's be honest, being broke is not an insult either. Everyone's broke. If you're not Jeff Bezos rich, if you're not Warren Buffett rich, if you're not Bill Gates rich, if you're not Carlos Slim Hulu rich, you're broke. So let's stop acting like we're holier than thou and stop acting childish. Thank you for the Carlos Slim Hulu is. Thank you for the burger and fries. Oh my god, thank you for the gift points. If you don't know who Carlos Slim Hulu is, I suggest you look him up. You should know who these rich people are. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Carlos Slim Hulu. You don't know who Carlos Slim Hulu is? I could look him up for you. He's the world's richest man in Mexico. He started a telephone company. That's how he became famous. I mean, not famous, rich. That's how he became rich. Carlos Slim Hulu became rich in Mexico because he started a telephone company. Okay? I know a lot. I had to know this stuff. Warren Buffett became rich because he invested his money in stocks. Obviously, we know why Bill Gates is rich, because he was the co-founder or the founder of Microsoft. Just like, who was it? Steve Jobs and, Wonatsky, I forget his name. Anyways, the other co-founder of Apple. So, when, I believe it was Bill Gates was arrested here, actually. There's apartments, like, if you're going, if people live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, they'll know what I'm talking about. When you go, like, I think there's like the Walmart, there's like, Bob's Burger or something, when you're going towards, like, it's on Central, but when you're going towards, like, the State Fair, there's like that tall bank building or whatever it is. And then there's like Walgreens, there's a Walmart, there's a car wash. They just built like a Bob's Burgers there or something. Anyways, there's like an AutoZone, and when you go down a little further, I think the apartments are like almost right across from where the State Fair is. So I believe it was that area is where who was I talking about? Bill Gates. Bill Gates got arrested, I think it was, or Steve Jobs. I believe it was Bill Gates got arrested here. Bill Gates was going door to door trying to sell Microsoft. People said that was a crazy idea. They said, this is crazy. No one's going to buy a software for the computer. Like, you think people are going to buy software for a computer? And they sure did. Look at where he's at. Then he started doing, he even does phones, because the Microsoft phone. My mom had one of those. Window phones. I mean, they're nice. Howdy. But I don't really like the window phones. But anyways, Steve Jobs. I forget how Steve Jobs started Apple. But there's been several, rich people that have come from New Mexico. I believe it might have been Jeff Bezos was born here. The guy, Amazon, was it? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Jeff Bezos was born here. And then I forget who they said was born in Washington. It was something that linked them or whatever. But there was someone who was rich that was born here. But anyways, besides the point. When you start businesses, right? This is what I want to talk about. When starting businesses, it's not an overnight thing. For me, doing the clothing line, I can't go into it thinking oh, I'm going to make millions right away. Because if that's the case, then I won't make any money. Because when you start businesses or you go into something, you can't go into it thinking that you're going to make a lot of money. It just doesn't work like that. You can't just think about money. And it doesn't happen overnight either. It takes a lot of hard work. And some people, it takes them years. With Steve Harvey, he didn't even become successful as a comedian until in his 40s, when he started getting recognized and he started getting making money, and he wasn't living out of his car supporting his wife and children. Like, it takes people time. And how much time? Like, some people can't, like, some people can't say, like, some people can't literally determine how fast things are, right? And to you, like, this is a problem. This is like an issue with people. To certain people, just because people live with their parents, it's like, oh, you're lazy. You don't do nothing. And I'm not the only person who gets told that, right? Or if people are living on their own, paying their own bills and not struggling, people still want to revert back to saying, you live with your mother and your kids are paying bills. That's crazy. Like, they will still find a reason to say that you live with your parents when you don't. People always want to find issues with people. It's a problem. Like, it's weird. Just because people are online all the time doesn't mean that they don't have a job outside of TikTok. There's lots of people I know that go live every day. And people say, oh, they don't have a job because they're live every day. It's none of your business. Right? You do? Yes, I'm actually in a program where I have a community manager. And that's all I could say about that, right? So technically it is a job for me. See, the thing is like, you don't have this as your job, which means you're not doing nothing. Okay? It seems like some people are more jealous that people can turn something into a job and they can't. It seems like people are mad that I turn live streaming into a job. Like, come on. I get paid monthly from subscriptions. I get paid monthly from the Creator Fund. So I don't know what you consider a job, but to me a job is someone who pays taxes or who has to file taxes on the money they make. I have to file taxes on everything that I make. And actually I'm getting paid on the 15th again with the subscriptions. Because the subscriptions are a monthly based payment. So, and the more subscriptions I get, the less TikTok takes. So eventually, if I was to get to like 1,000 or whatever I get up to, like the more subscriptions I get, then TikTok won't take anything. So, are you gonna pay taxes? Well, I have to file my taxes myself because I have to file taxes myself because I'm self-employed. I'm literally self-employed, so it's like I'm running my own business. Because I called the tax place, and the tax place said, because I asked them a question, I said, well, this might be a weird question. I said, I get paid online through TikTok, I said, through my videos, and, I have to pay taxes. I was like, but how do I pay taxes? Do I come in? And then she was like, no, you have to go online on your computer, and then you type in self-employed, and you have to put down all your expenses of what you pay, like all your bills, and file your taxes. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I have to file my own taxes, unless if I had like a whole like management team, then they would do that for me, and all I would have to do is just create and make content. And not only that, I'm going to start getting paid on Instagram because I just hit 10K. So once I qualify for all the other stuff, I'll start getting paid on Instagram. Tax deadline already passed. Who said I didn't file my taxes? I called April. I think it was March or April. I know I called, I can't remember when it was, but I called and I asked him, I was like, hey, I asked her about the tax thing and she said you have to file because you're self-employed. Because she even said it before I even finished. She was like, you get paid because people like your videos. And I was like, yeah. And she explained and told me.
But I believe you're on the wrong foot. Woody. Come on, Jess. It's time to take you home. What if Andy doesn't like me? Nonsense. Andy will love you. Besides, he's got a little sister.
And don't think just because you subscribe that you could still be rude, because I could still block you and take your money. You can't even refund. If you pay for a subscription, you can't even get a refund. Nope. Once you pay, that's it. No refund for you. Be mindful. I want to see who has like the highest subscribers on TikTok right now. I want to know if someone knows that, because I need to know. Like, if someone got $5,000 and you're making a lot of money, people are making bank off these subscriptions. I should look that up on YouTube. No. I saw it once. Wait, what? For real? Because I know there is someone that I follow that I know, because from on this like subscriptions thing, I think I could click the subscriptions. I think it'll tell me like the person with the highest subscribers. Oh, it clicked out. I'm gonna have to wait. Because like Josh Richards, I don't know if you guys know who Josh Richards is, but anyways, Josh Richards has like 1,000 subscribers. And I know there was somebody that like checked the subscribers, but I forget how. Because he was like, nah, respectfully, we gotta get more than that person. And it was like, yeah, he had like 1,000. But there's no way to tell, because when I click the subscription, it just says help me reach my goal. So, unless I click here where the subscribers are. Customize perks and benefits. Okay, so once I know the perks. So it depends on the tiers, like how much how much subscribers you get. I don't think you get like a special box at like 300. I will have to see. I know at 500 you get like some sort of box with stuff in it, and then at 1,000 you get something. It's like a box full of stuff. But yeah. So you get emotes, badges, and sub-only gifts. Sub-only chats, sub-only live if I wanted to do that. But with sub-only live, I can't play music, and sub-only gifts. Sub-only GIFs? That don't make no sense. It says sub-only gifts. Oh. I'm 61% to my subscription goal. I don't know. It says 39 watching out of 309 subscribers. That's crazy. Okay. I'm trying to see subscription tools. No. I don't know where it's at. There used to be a place where you could see like yeah, I was gonna do a Hershey emote, and I keep forgetting, guys. I'll add that as an emote. But I know there used to be a place where you could see like subscriptions, like how much subscribers people had and who was top with subscribers.
When it comes to safety.
Okay, so today we're doing another one marker art challenge. You guys loved the last one, and basically the game is I pick one color randomly, and then I have to fill the whole page with this one color. So I closed my eyes and I picked the color pink, and I was kind of nervous about this one, but I had a really good idea. I would usually just freehand all the doodles and just go wild, but I thought it would be really fun to fill the page with pink cartoon characters, if that makes sense. So I ended up using a pencil to sketch all of the little characters on the page because there was no way I was going to be able to freehand all the cartoon characters because they're so iconic and I would have messed it up. I'm hoping I get pink again or like a different color pink because there were so many characters to choose from and I had to just pick a couple, but I ended up picking like Toadette and Peppa Pig and Patrick. I actually didn't expect to like this one as much as my other ones, but I think this might be my favorite. I just love all the cartoon characters. I'm definitely gonna have to do
Okay,
this.
let me go
Okay, so today
look that up.
Say hello to the place where rolling hills meet slow hills, where our fields, inside and out, are always growing, and where the fun is just getting started. This is Iowa. So, when are you coming to see us?
I don't know if it'll come up.
Think about who you want on your team.
And also, guys, please make sure you're spamming the likes. Let's get to 100K, please. Hold on. It's loading. This Wi-Fi is horrid.
Get ready for the hardest, dirtiest, most disgusting game on TV. I survived Bear Grylls, 2018 on TBS.
Well, Chef, all going to come down to what you did with the ground turkey. Chef Rashida, what did you make?
Ground turkey tostada with a spicy mayo and a cabbage red onion guac.
I will say that the fry on this turkey.
It just talks about TikTok subscriptions.
Really like, but it doesn't.
It doesn't really say.
The turkey still, to me, does read a little bit dry because there wasn't enough of that mayo in there.
I would have to see if there's a subscription leaderboard. Am I serious? Yes, I am totally serious. Thank you for spamming the likes. They're really going fast. I appreciate it. I'm sure you'll get to 100K in no time. We're like at 30,000. How much TikTok paid me for 400 million views?
The turkey breathes very, very slow.
Creator Fund?
There's like so much flavor.
Oh yeah, the Creator Fund doesn't. Yeah, I got like $50 on a video. Well, I don't know if they changed like the pricing because I don't know how much they pay in the Creator Fund now. I'm still in it, but I don't check the Creator Fund. I just wait till it goes in and it says like withdraw. But anyways, thank you for sharing. There was one video that hit like 5 million and I only got $50. I was like, bro, $50 for 5 million? Like, that video that has 43 million? You know what? I could probably look that up. Let me see the date on that one. I could tell you how much I made. It probably wasn't even that much. Okay. Because it's pinned on my page. So 46.9 million. This was 2022 11/16, right? Remember 11/16 for educational purposes. I'm not miserable. Who said I was miserable? I am not miserable. Anyways, 11/16/2022. I had to stop and see if I remembered. I went to the wrong place.
It's like a Burmese version of bouillabaisse.
Okay, got it.
On that note, 45 minutes on the clock, and your time starts right now.
This takes so long because the internet is crappy.
Moringa is a rice noodle and fish soup, traditionally eaten for breakfast.
Hey.
You'll find either a hard boiled or a soft boiled ice cream with catfish is used.
Which makes sense because Burma is not anywhere close to water. That should be more of a river fish to there.
Let me see my analytics on something real quick. 2022 11/16. I have to remember. 4.4 million video views just in this week alone.
Jocelyn, have you been making this even before you became a chef?
I have content trending. I have a lot of content trending. TikTok has this new thing now where it tells you to go live. It literally like says you should go live now because you have a video trending. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but that's what it tells me. Now is a good time to go live because you have a video trending. I'm like, okay.
So I'm just trying to make it taste good. I'm making moringa with halibut, thickened with toasted jasmine rice, crispy shallots, and cilantro.
So, Bobby has mutton? He's using a mutton stock. No, which I think is a great idea. They have so much flavor, so it makes sense.
I just like the flavor of the seafood stew. And then I
The live it won't tell me because I have to go to the live thing, so.
And yellow curry to it.
Anyways, creator fund. Let's go here.
No, thank you.
Coming up on 37 minutes.
Want my moringa base?
I don't want the beta program. I want the creator fund.
This is your traditional recipe. It is. And is it going to be sweet, spicy?
Remind me later. I'm not doing no beta program. That beta program is crap.
I know, he thinks it's nice. Oh, was that a strategy?
11. Okay.
And I add my catfish.
Best of luck. Come on, guys.
Okay, let's find out. It's 11, not 12. It's 11, 2022. 11/16/2022. I could literally tell you.
So I'm using halibut, fish that is very mild in flavor, and I love the texture of it. So I'm poaching halibut.
It's loading. That's what it's doing. Slowly but surely it's loading.
Okay, Bobby. Good luck.
Thank you.
So, TikTok offered, there's another program to get paid that's a beta program. It's kind of like the Creator Fund. I don't know how that works. But in order for me to join that, it was like, in order for you to join, you would have to leave the Creator Fund. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I just was like, nah.
It's real easy to give up.
Okay, so it was 11/16/2022. So then if we go from there, because it probably takes like a day to process the video. For like 11/2022, that was like $227.91. And mind you, That video had like, what, it was going like 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, and then 46 million. That is like the highest video on my page right now that has went viral, besides the second one, which was like 10 million. I'm like, TikTok, you're like, that should at least, that, like, with a video that hits like 30 million views, that should have at least been like $30 million. I'm just kidding. No, no, I'm just kidding. But it should have at least been like 200,000 or something. Because come on now, 30 million views? Like, do you know how much people make for those types of views on YouTube? Like, I would literally take my content to YouTube. I go viral anywhere technically. I need to start posting more on YouTube. But if I go to YouTube, I'm gonna go viral there too. On Instagram, I'm like, people are following me and I don't really post anything except in my Insta story. I got to 10K like quick. I'm still gaining followers. Like, I'm reaching 30K accounts on Instagram and I'm not even like, the only thing I'm active on is my Insta story. Like, TikToks has to do better. Like, they can pay, right? They can pay celebrities millions of dollars. Like, I know Jason Derulo is getting paid from TikTok. The amount of promotion he's doing, I'm pretty sure he's not doing that for free. But they can pay celebrities like that who are already millionaires, but they can't pay the creators or the influencers more. Like, that's a shame. Because I don't know how long it takes for, okay, so if we're going to calculate things, I don't know how long it takes to process a video and the views, right? So if it takes a whole day to process, or I don't know how long how long they wait until the video racks up views, and then they calculate it for the creator fund. But literally, if it was at like 30 million views, like, run me my money. Like, seriously. I should have at least made thousands of dollars off that video. I should have. And the amount that it's been everywhere, that video went so viral, it was everywhere. It went on, like, my eye is watery. It went on Sniper Wolf's video, and then this account that posts, sounds like the Rugrats, but anyways, there's this account on Instagram that posts, like, it's an account that's called Punk Black, and they post a lot of black people, black content and stuff, and they posted it there. And then Collab, I don't know if you know, like, the huge, like, account Collab, like, they had me fill out a form so they can you have to fill out a form, and if they choose you, when they repost it, whatever revenue they make off of it goes to you. So whatever money they make off of it would have went to me if they choose to, like, post it. You have to fill out an application, and then they'll decide if they want to post it, because that video went super viral. But yeah, I do not want to make those videos anymore, and I don't call people fans, I call them supporters. More duets. My videos have been going viral though, and they aren't duets though. The duets don't really do well. Like, I have, you could, like, see the views on my videos. Like, when you go on my page, you'll see it. Like, some video, like, almost every video, I don't know if it stopped now, but I've noticed, like, almost every video that I've posted gets up to, like, 100K. So that's good compared to what I was used to getting. which views and like analytics and stuff, I rarely check my analytics because I don't really care about the views. I just post a video and whatever it does, it does. I don't care. Right? But I've noticed that like a lot of my videos have been consistently hitting 100K, so I'm like, that's good. At least, you know, we're getting somewhere. My page isn't dying. That's the thing. We want to have this page continuously like be active, you know. A dying page is never good. Because fans are totally different. Like, I consider people supporters, not fans. Fans are a whole other different thing, and I think fans are, like, considered for, like, celebrity. And as a matter of fact, I keep forgetting to do, because I don't know, I have to talk to them and tell them that I've been busy doing a lot of stuff. I go live and stuff, so I haven't been able to film that because Famous Birthdays wanted me to film a Q&A for the page, my page on Famous Birthdays, which, if you go to Famous Birthdays, guys, and search me up, please, I know people are going to say no, but please boost me on Famous Birthdays, please. All you do is go to Famous Birthdays, you search my name, and I will come up. I'm on Famous Birthdays anyways. Well, no, it's because I told them I had a lot going on, because, like, the person messaged me and said, do you want to do this Q&A? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then that's when everything had, like, happened. And right now, I can't even be focused on sitting down and filming a Q&A. It takes a lot of time because I have to write, like, the questions people ask. I have to answer it. And then I have to hope a lot of people send in questions. And then I know I'm already going to get the stupid questions. And then I have to, like, sift through that. And I might have to come up with my own questions and ask myself because I already know what the comments are going to look like if I ask for, like, questions for Famous Birthdays. I don't have, like, the time or the energy because I have to keep... The only reason why... Thank you for subscribing and thank you for the gift points. The only reason why I have to keep posting videos on TikTok is to be active. And I try to at least post 3 videos daily. Every day I'm posting 3 videos. I don't know how it works for some people, like, because I know some people probably take a break and then post. Thank you for the roses. People are not extreme like me. They don't post 3 videos daily. Some people probably do. They probably post a bunch of videos daily. But I'm saying for me personally, I have to post 3 videos a day. I can't just, like, be one of those people. When I have management, of course they're probably going to tell me to tone down on posting 3 videos a day if I had a manager. You mean the little things that people wear on their fingers, those small hands? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, so I was going to look that. Let me look this up. I feel like it's not going to be good. Someone said that I should work with them, and I was like, huh, who? Also, I need to get my, I have some stuff. I still need to post the Joker shirt. What other, oh, thank you for the duck. The Michael Myers shirt on my storefront, my thing, because I have an Amazon storefront where I posted stuff that I got from Amazon. So yeah, I'm gonna get some more stuff from Amazon and then, like, put more on my storefront. I got accepted into the program because of my following. So I have a Amazon storefront.
And the chef partner of Piggyback, Leah Cohen. Judges, please start with the first bowl in front of you.
I think that the broth has a lot of flavor. It's really light and herbaceous.
Oh.
That can be sometimes overpowering, and it's not in this dish. For me, I wasn't that into the crispy noodle, so that hot broth, it kind of just dissolves.
The aroma and look of the dish is top notch. However, while I like the lime on the side, I would have liked the broth itself.
Not lovely peaches. There's this girl. They have a girl and it says flop talk.
The other judges, really delicious, fun to just dive into, and I can imagine waking up and eating this dish. Thank you, judges. We're gonna have you switch your plates now.
Oh, he's a creator. That's who he is.
For me, the biggest issue is the broth is a little bit heavy.
Didn't that guy get exposed? I think I'm gonna have to look him up on YouTube. Thank you for the arrow darts. Whatever. That I see that gift so many times. The love you gift. That's it. How do I forget what the thing is called? Who would win in a fight? You? Who is that?
Thank you for your comments, judges. There can only be one winner, so please take a vote.
Okay, so that incident, okay, I did something else too that people thought was extreme and they came at me for. So people, so the first thing that got sent was okay, so this was before the dress. This was a sausage egg McMuffin, a small Dr. Pepper, and a cookie. Mind you, people called DoorDash right as soon as it got delivered. And the person, the name was under Edward. So, called and said, I didn't get my order, and they got a refund, right? So they got a refund for that. So I was coming, right? I acted like I didn't know, because someone said that they were also planning to send it to me, and I was like, okay, this is at our apartment. So I took the breakfast, took the Dr. Pepper, right? I said, oh, this? I said, trash. And I, like, pepper down the drain. Because I was not going to drink it. Obviously, the principle, like, it's like the principle, like showing them, like, that was not cool, right? Then I threw the cookie trash. I wasn't going to smash the bag with like a drink in it. So I smashed the food, right? I smashed it. And I threw the food in the trash. It was like a sausage and egg McMuffin, but without the McMuffin and a cookie because they felt bad. And so I was like, I just smashed it and threw it in the trash. They were like, oh, you wasted food, da da da. Okay. So I have a wish list, right? Nowhere on my wish list is there a dress like that, right? So, someone being fat phobic, because they always want to be fat phobic, sent a small dress to me and tried to tell me that I had the wrong size, which that was not the case, saying, it's your fault, you had the wrong size after I cut up the dress, which, mind you, the dress smelled bad. First of all, it smelled really horrible. There was no way to, like, donate just one article of clothing, which was a smelly dress. Like, I was not going to donate a smelly dress to a thrift store who was probably going to throw it away. So, I had talked to someone and said, I'm going to cut it up on the live stream to make an example, because they tried to send me this dress being fat phobic because it was a small dress. Then tried to say, like, no, they can't wash it. You have to understand, because I trained at Goodwill, I know what I'm talking about. Thrift stores will not take anything that is wet or smelling. Like, if the clothes seem or look bad enough, it's not a simple wash. They'll just throw it away. Like with the Goodwill that I worked at, sometimes, well, a lot of the times they don't wash stuff. I don't know. When I was there training, I didn't see that. We put it in like bins, so we separated the clothes in bins, and whatever was clean enough to go out on the floor, they put it out on the floor. So if they wanted only clean, like clothes that were like already washed and clean, they put it out on the floor. Like there was one time we got a whole bag of like wet clothes. They just throw that. They'll just toss it. If it smells bad, if it has stains that, someone can't get out, if they buy it and wash, like, yeah. They wouldn't have took the dress. They would have just threw it away. So I'm just doing technically the same thing they did, right? So I was making a statement because someone sent the dress being fatphobic and I cut it up. And they wanted to try to say that I should have donated the dress to try to make me look bad that I cut up this dress when literally it would have went to the trash anyways because I know Goodwill wouldn't have took it. There's no point to drive to a Goodwill, which Goodwill is trash, guys. Goodwill is trash. Do not go shop or buy or donate to Goodwill. All these thrift stores are trash. If I'm being totally honest with you, they're all trash. Like they wouldn't have took the dress. They would have threw it away. Like, and the fact that person I don't know if that was the video, but they tried to make me look bad by saying she could have just donated that. Like, do you not even know that I trained at Goodwill, the thrift store? That made me really hate thrift stores. Sometimes they overprice their items too. A lot of their items were overpriced.
I have used them for like chili and with tomato.
Like, way too overpriced. And the Goodwill that I worked at was like the big one where everything goes. I was training at Goodbyes. If you don't know what Goodbyes is, it's a small store that branches off of Goodwill. And the only thing they sell there is 99-cent clothing. So shirts and pants. They don't sell like electronics. They're not like a Goodwill that sells everything. They just sell specifically clothes. And every day, it's not even, how do I say it? They do have certain tags on certain days where it's discounts, but every day is 99 cents. It's not even at this point, it's like the 99-cent store. It's exactly like the 99-cent store. And so, it got real tough. I remember I cried one time because of something that happened there. And I was like, I can't do this. Retail, I hate retail. That made me have a hatred for retail. If I'm telling you one thing, the one thing I had a hatred for was retail. First of all, retail, if you work in like a retail store, kudos to you because people, like, especially at Goodwill, you have to put a certain amount of racks. You have to put a certain amount of racks out every single day. So the racks always have to be filled. You have to have like, I don't know, at Goodbyes it was like 1,000 pieces of clothing had to be out every single day. And people throw clothes on the floor sometimes. You know how they drop clothes when they're trying on other clothes and they just leave it? You have to go around and pick all of that up and then hang it back up. You have to like go through and straighten everything. Like, and if it was a huge retail store like Marshall's or what's the other place? I forget where I went to. Well, Target. But I'm trying to think. There was a place I went to that I got my Batman shirt. But anyways, besides the point. Like, people throw, like, if it's a retail store, it's worse. Like, 10 times worse. Goodwill just puts out clean clothes. They don't even wash it. If it looks clean enough, they're gonna hang it. Like, if it doesn't look clean enough, they have a place where they throw stuff. They take all donations, but then you have to go through in the back and sort it. Sometimes people don't get a lunch break. Goodwill stuff was overpriced for being a thrift store. It was just horrible. Like, it made me have a hatred for retail. I was like, bro, I could not work retail. I would lose my mind. Like, I would. The rude customers you have to deal with. The people, like, just throwing things all over. That's like at Walmart. Like, people get a hold of the art aisle, and if it's someone who is not well, and they just open the paint and start throwing it all over. Like, I could not do that. And it makes it a lot harder because people have to clean it up. You know, I just really, and then so, you get a certificate after you complete training. So they pay you for training, which was pretty good. It was like $300. I don't know how, like every 2 weeks. It was like you were getting paid minimum wage to do training. Like some jobs will pay you, like at Dunkin', I got paid $40 for training. I didn't get paid as much as I did like training at Goodbyes. So I was training to get a job. It's a program that Goodwill has that they help you learn skills to get a job, because I was having a tough time getting a job. I was like, let me train. I know how to work a cash register. And I said, well, if I get a job, I would think of like doing probably cash register. But, you know, anyways, so I trained there and I completed the training, which means that I got my certificate. But I never collected my certificate for the simple fact was that I told my dad, oh, I'm just going to do social media. This was at the time it was like Musical.ly. I was like, I'm just going to try to work at social media and work on it because, yeah, I didn't see myself really working at Goodwill. And I was like, I don't really get any jobs, obviously, because what's funny is that the only way I had got that Dunkin' Donut job was because of my dad. And that was the same Dunkin' Donuts that I applied at. Like because there's like a Michael's, the one that I went, like the Dunkin' Donuts was there. And I had like went to Michael's for something because, you know, I used to do polymer clay crafts. And I went to go buy some polymer clay stuff at Michael's, and I stopped at Dunkin' because I was like, you know what, I want a donut. So I stopped at Dunkin' and I was like, let me apply at Dunkin' Donuts. I said, I'm here, why not apply for a job and see what happens? And so I applied and I went to apply and they were like, we don't have any openings, we don't have any jobs. And I was like, okay, thank you. But when my dad called, right, because he told her, he explained the whole thing, she was like, yeah, we'll hire her. And she even told me when we were doing the interview, she's like, I'm going to hire you, but you still have to go through the interview. And I was like, okay. With Dunkin', before you can be hired, because I was hired, but I couldn't start working right away, you have to take a test. Once you pass that test with like almost close to, I think it was 100, or you had to pass it like 100%, then you can start working. It only took me 2 tries to take the test before I passed, I believe. I think I failed once. I can't remember why. But it literally only took me like 2 times. It didn't take me that long to pass the test. Or I think it took me once and then I passed the test. It literally just tells you like, how do you make a sandwich? If you're a sandwich maker, how do you make an iced coffee or whatever, like the drinks? What do you do if this, you know, and I ask questions. And then once you're done, you call and it's like, and you tell her like, hey, I passed the test. And so at that point, she just started getting tired of me. That was the problem. People would say, oh, it was because of your hygiene, because of the video I posted on YouTube, which that wasn't even the case. She just gave me an opportunity, and then she took advantage because she literally told me I had to work up towards minimum wage. When you start any job, whether it be McDonald's, Dunkin', jobs like that, you don't work up towards minimum wage. You start at minimum wage. I was only making I make more now than I did at like Dunkin'. Like I make more now than I did at Dunkin'. I was only making like $200 every 2 weeks. And the highest I got paid was like $400 because I worked overtime. Which they don't allow you to work overtime. They tell you like, oh, go home. You have to get off the clock. Like you're over your time. And the only time they had me work overtime was twice because the workers for the lunch hour, didn't show up on time. They didn't show up. They was late to work, so I had to work overtime. They didn't have no choice. They said, we don't have nobody to work, and it's the lunch hour, so you're going to have to work until they show up. Because I worked morning. They have the morning shift, because Dunkin' Donuts is open 24 hours. So they have the morning shift. I had to get there before they open at 6. And then I worked till 10, 11? I can't remember, 10, 11. I didn't even work the full 8 hours. Because obviously she said I had to work up towards minimum wage. Thank you for the subscription. And then they have the graveyard shift, which, you know, works until the morning shift comes in. Because Dunkin' Donuts is a 24-hour establishment, so they have to be open 24 hours. So there's the morning shift, the afternoon shift, and then the graveyard shift. So, thank you for the gift points, but yeah. And that was the highest I ever got paid was $400 because I had to work overtime. And they didn't have no choice for me to work overtime. And the tips, I don't know if your Dunkin' Donuts does that, but the Dunkin' Donuts I worked at, I didn't know Dunkin' Donuts did tips, right? That you get tips like a restaurant. Well, my Dunkin' Donuts, we were not allowed to collect our tip if someone gave it to us. So, like, this lady would always come in and tip me because I made a good sandwich. She was like a regular. She would come in and get this, like, flatbread sandwich. Well, the tips, the manager, general manager, because we didn't have a manager, would say, like, oh, what would she say? She would be like, oh, you have to wait till you get, like, $10 in tips. We had to wait till everyone, the morning, the afternoon, and the night shift, everyone that worked those shifts, we had to wait until they got $10 in tips. So we couldn't get tips until everyone got their $10 tip. And then she would split it and put it in an envelope and give it to us.
Salt and pepper, and then I dusted with flour, which adds that texture on the outside of the chicken.
Bobby, what are you making tonight for your third mom?
I'm going to do sort of an Italian spin.
Italian? It's so Bobby play.
So,
I love Italy. This is a chicken and dumplings. Black pepper. I'm starting to fry with onions and garlic. Chicken sauce. Also going to start
I dropped the light-bright pig.
chicken and dumplings. How much? My grandmother used to make chicken and dumplings.
No, you can't keep. I don't know if it was other Dunkins. I know the Dunkin' Donuts I worked at didn't let us keep the tips. We had to wait until everybody collected $10 tips. And I remember one time I never collected my tips. I don't know how it happened, but there was one time I had like a stack of tips, right? It was like $60 or something like that. And people was like, they were like jealous because they said, how come she gets all of that? And she was like, because she never collected her tips. And I was like, wait, what? Because usually the general manager just hands you your tip. Like, oh, everyone made their $10 tip, so here. Like, I just didn't think to ask because she always handed out her tips. So it was weird. It was like, huh? Because you always hand out the tips. We never went to ask because, you know. And so they were like looking at me because I had all of this tip. I was like, well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm gonna turn the flashlight off.
We're a mixture of genres, a hybrid style, creators in field and in kitchen, and final.
But yeah. Why do people just spam the same thing? It gets annoying.
Woody! Bitch, I'm a
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of. I don't know if I should. Not. I'm not gonna say traumatize. Well, it might traumatize you if you go see it. So I saw a video where someone was like, "Don't go look at Kevin Gates' post," and they explained what it was, and I was like, I want to see how like I wanted to see like how it works, like if that makes sense, because I wanted to know. I wanted to be like, I wonder what that looks like, and is it painful? And yeah, the most beautiful thing in life. When I tell you what I saw, more like if I didn't have a fear of like childbirth, now I do. And did you know that that's how women were originally supposed to give birth? So, one of the kings, I believe it was, a long time ago, in the, where they wore ruffles, like kind of like George Washington time, in like the 19th century or before that. So women, this might be a TMI, but women used to, how you're supposed to give birth is standing up. That's how you're supposed to. But one of the kings, I believe it was, I can't remember who it was, decided that he wanted to see the woman give birth. So he had her like laid down on the bed to give birth. And that's partially the reason why women give birth in the bed, because of him. But originally, it is I guess it's less painful. I don't know if it's painful, because like that lady tried it. I'm not going to be in the comment section asking, was it painful? That's kind of weird. But apparently it's supposed to be less painful than laying down and giving birth. He wanted to. He invited what the heck? But to me that's like weird, because why would you do that? Because you want to see a woman give birth, and you would rather have her go through pain, because apparently the women that gave birth like standing up or like in like a squat position, literally it wasn't painful. Supposedly it's not supposed to be painful that way. And when I saw like Kevin Gates' Insta story, I was like, if I literally have like a fear of childbirth, now I do. Unless that's not painful. I was like, if that's not painful, then that's the way I would have my kids. Because like, Jesus, I don't want to lay down. We get TMI for women. I get painful cramps every month. And it's gonna be 10 times worse. Like for women, we have to imagine our cramps 10 times worse when we have kids. I'm like, I cannot imagine my cramps 10 times worse. I get my cramps 10 times worse than other women do. So like, I already know how it feels. It's painful for me 10 times worse. So, like, I could only imagine it being heck of a lot worse. Like, yeah, do you want to have kids? Yes, I do. Eventually, I do. But when and it was also, like, well, TMI, all the blood. I was like, bro. Like, I just, like, I don't know, like, should, like, when you see these like videos that are supposed to be educational of childbirth, it makes you mortified to even give birth to children. Like, it's like you get mortified. I'm sorry. Like, there are some people who are afraid of childbirth. I was like, I'm not gonna be afraid. And then when I saw that video, I was like, never mind. Like, never mind.
Nice little plop. So check on my dumplings.
Lay eggs like a chicken? I don't know, but wouldn't it be painful to pop out an egg too? Just like a whole human? Like, I don't know. And the fact that when you give childbirth, that there's a possibility it rips. You know, when where the baby comes out from. I'm like, and that some people had to get stitches. I'm like, I got stitches because, you know, I had the 2 tubes in my side. Educational purposes, TikTok. This is educational. But anyways, when I had 2 tubes in my side and they did like the stitches and they pulled it shut, that was real painful. It was like a little pinch. But man, it hurt. And I'm like, if I had to get stitches, like, put me to sleep if you're gonna do stitches. Like, I don't even want to, like, not in that area do I want stitches. TMI. I'm sorry for the men that might get uncomfortable because, you know, women talk. But anyways, you know.
I put it into the oven so that I can get that rendered crispy for my garnish. The next thing I do is throw some parsley and sage.
Yeah, well, who was it? Someone that I follow said that in this economy right now, it is not logical to have kids. That they said you should it's like I'm talking like the Rugrats. I can't even say words correctly. And it kind of was like Elmer Fudd Weast, how he always talks with a W. Anyways, and they said you should at least wait 4 years. They said in 4 years' time, the economy should be like at a point where you can have kids. They were like, right now in this economy, you shouldn't have kids. You should at least wait like 4 years. And I was like, 4 years? Well, I mean, I'm not thinking of having kids soon, but I was like, for those people that really want kids now, like, I know some of them ain't gonna wait 4 years, but I was like, I guess they're kind of right. I mean, it's bad. Like, people just have to be mindful because, you know, now that they took the right for some people to have abortions away, people have to be very careful about, like, pregnancies and stuff because, you know, they're being forced to carry the baby to term, which is sad because some people can't really afford it financially, right? And it just sucks because it's like, what do they expect women to do? Women can't financially afford a baby. And you want to force them to have the baby, then you financially take care of it. Like, the 9-to-5 jobs don't even pay people enough for a living wage. And you expect someone to be forced to take a baby to term and not be able to take care of it properly because they can't afford it. You know? That's like not even... Yeah, well, vasectomies can easily be irreversible. That's the thing about men literally complaining about getting one. Do the men not understand that could be irreversible? Like, they always want to be quick to tell women to get an abortion or to get their tubes tied. But they fail to realize, some men, that vasectomies are irreversible. So if you get one, you could like get it reversed back if you ever want to have kids. If you want to have kids in the future and you don't want to have kids now, for you it would be a lot easier because, and do you know that it's crazy? Mind you, it's not even easy for some men to get a vasectomy. This is how messed up the government is. There was one person on a live stream that I always join his live streams all the time. This guy joined and said that he had to get actual permission from his wife to get one. Like, the government required him to. He was like, I had to get permission because they were talking about vasectomies and someone said that men should just go get one, and the guy was like, I can't. Like, some people can't. They have to get permission from their wife. And I was like, what? I never heard that in my life. And apparently, he talked about, like, his whole ordeal and everything he had to go through. And he was like, yeah, I had to ask my wife to get one. I was like, what kind of a world do we live in? Like, geez, they're really trying to make it so you have to have a baby. It's like, if you want people to have a baby, then you take care of it.
Congratulations on making it to the
It's just like people cannot financially afford that. And it's not as easy. Thanks for following or sharing to tell people, well, maybe you should take precautions so you don't have a baby. Like, why should people have to do that? Like,
Please try the first chicken and dumplings in front of you.
yeah, my nose is like super itchy. What would happen if everyone stopped paying their taxes? I don't know. The government would probably have to listen to people, I guess. It's all about taking action, right? Like us literally voting the right people in office. It might work, right? The only thing is we gotta stop voting these old people into office. Their viewpoints are not, yeah. And even voting the right people in office still, doesn't like do much of anything. It's like just taking action. It's like people said, which it was very hard for everyone to do. When that, what was it, gas prices, the rent was going up. We were in the pandemic. People are still facing the effects of the pandemic. Like they're still struggling because of the effects 2 years ago of the pandemic. But some people, when they were gonna like boycott, was like, maybe if we all stopped paying our rent, what are they gonna do? Throw all of us out? They can't throw everyone out who stops paying their rent, right? Or if we stop shopping at these stores. But it would have to take everyone to be on an agreement, meaning like the millions of people in the world. And frankly, there's always gonna be a large number of people who are still gonna shop. Even if you say like, no, we're on a strike, that's not gonna help unless everyone is on the same page. If we all stopped shopping at corporations, if we all stopped working, if we all like just stopped paying rent and stopped doing like shut down the actual government, maybe then they might really listen, Thank you for the gift points. Then they might really just like stop and listen. But at that point, the president is also old and apparently racist. I didn't know. Well, I don't know if that was a hoax. I think they said that was a hoax where he took a picture with a certain member. I can't say that word because, I'll get suspended. But I do know the remark that he said when he was on that one show, or what was it, where he was I'm trying to think. I don't think it was it Charlemagne the God? I can't remember his name. When he went on there and he was like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I was like, yikes, that's not good. I mean, everyone basically voted for him because they didn't want Trump in office. But apparently he's not good either. Like people were like, he's racist and he's done stuff way back in the day. Not just that. And I was like, I didn't even know. Like, it's just even voting people that do the right things in office, like pass the right bills, that's still not good enough. Like, if a lot of people just like, like there was like one incident and back like in the early 2000s where people stopped buying gas, like large people did. And it worked. But the only way we're ever really going to see change from the government and stuff is if people do more action than what they're doing. And if lots of people are not on the same page, it's not going to work. Because you could be one person saying, I won't shop at Walmart, and there's always like 10,000 more people who will. Merch update. Well, the clothing line, I've been trying to work on that. But for some reason, it's not accepting the designs. Yeah. I really don't like political talk. I'm not a political person, but yeah, it's all about old people in power. We gotta stop. That's what someone said. A post somewhere's like, we have to stop electing old people into office. And obviously, they're way out of touch because they grew up in a different generation. And, you know, they're never going to be able to see eye to eye with people when they come from a different generation that had different views, right? So that's where the problem comes in. Yeah. No, I was just like talking about it for a while. It's just that like sometimes people have different political views and they get kind of like, why are you talking about that? Like, I don't like agree with these views. Because, you know, the people that, you know, the video that came out about Trump recently where, you know, that he couldn't keep his mouth closed and he made another horrible statement again. I was like, bro, people are still going to be out here supporting Trump and still say like Trump 2024. I'm like, after that, like, I don't know how people could still be Trump supporters. That to me is crazy. They're like delusional because they're like Trump 2024 and it's like, you do know he's going to go to jail and probably get arrested and like go to prison. Like, he's not going to be running for president. Real women vote for Trump. Are you a Trump supporter? Trump for jail? Yes. You know, someone should make a shirt that says Trump for jail and put like him behind bars on a shirt. My favorite ice cream is cookies and cream. Oh, it's a song? I'm not sure. Oh, I haven't heard that song. Maybe I should play that song. The only song I know is the F Donald Trump song. Unless that's the song you're talking about. But yeah. What's the song called? I'll play it, but hopefully it's not too bad where I won't get suspended on live. But yeah. Real women vote for Trump. Ran, like, you know what's the sad or what's the scariest thing is that people are using actual cars for weapons. Like, that's crazy that they're using cars to run over people. Like, it's just too much. That's why I don't really watch the news, because I know when I change it to, like, I definitely hate Fox News. That's one news station I hate. But when I'm changing it past those channels, like Fox News or CNN, all I see is, like, mass shooting. It's just, like, another one. Like, I was changing it, and then I saw the shooting in Texas, and I was like, bro, like, every time you turn on the news, it's like, you know, there's a mass shooting. Oh, is it this? Wait, is this that girl? Maybe it's not. I'll have to look it up. I can't even remember what to look up. Yeah, the comments were getting a little crazy. That's why I went to sub only.
We're the deplorable choir.
I think this is the one you're talking about.
We don't care if you're white. Don't care if you're black. We don't care if you're gay. We're all under attack. We don't care if you're rich. Don't care if you're poor. We just know what we're fighting for. Sing it. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump. Yeah. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump. We don't care if you're girls. Don't care if you're dudes. We don't care.
I know. They've already tried to do that before. Like, this is how it all started. This is why everything started the way it did, because of me getting mad because they said I was a Trump supporter. I was like, I definitely did not vote for Trump. I already know how people work on social media. They do it all the time. They'll like crap and be like, see, look, she supports Trump. It's confirmed. I watch. I can already tell you what the caption's gonna be. It'll be like, Tophiachu supports Trump. Tophiachu is a Trump supporter. Real 2023. I already know. They do it all the time. I like when I look up my name, everything is like screen recorded. Me drinking Mountain Dew, me eating like food. Every little thing I do is recorded.
Don't care if you're real. Just grab a Corona.
No. Because I think there was this lady that made a really bad parody song and got exposed, but I can't remember what it was for. And she looked like her. Oh my Lord. So people just, I don't know, they can't be helped, right? They can't be helped. I'm confirmed that this is certified hood classic. This is, as a liberal, I confirm that this is a certified hood classic. Not a Trumpy, but oh my gosh, this song goes hard for no reason. I'm a liberal Trump, but this song is such a slay. Oh my Lord. Good job, Stacy. Didn't say homosexuals or L. I don't know. Didn't even get. We don't care. Trump watching. Oh my Lord. They put like the two orange circles on the outside and the two eyes with the mouth. Oh my God. Just grab a Corona. Well, this part aged like milk. Anyways. Oh no. Real women settle for Joe? What the heck is this?
I'm Victoria. I'm Jenny.
Real women settle for Joe?
We are. Here's a message from us to you. Hit it, Mom. We love our sin. We love our faith. We love our gays. Joe in your place. Trump doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about you. He only cares about money.
They did a rebuttal song about Joe.
Real women settle for Joe. We don't want no pedogino, yeah. Real women settle for Joe.
Pedo Cheeto.
Real women settle for Joe.
I can't.
No pedogino, yeah. Real women settle for Joe.
The fact that they said settle, like, never settle, guys. Don't settle, no.
Get out of the cage. That's what Joe wants to do. Spend all my money.
Hey. I can't even finish it. Well, I mean, we did kind of have to settle. They did a cupcake version, and it says, I can't even say that because will it get suspended? It says, real women slurp that. Why do people keep making these Cupcake versions of songs. I can't. I can't. Why do people keep making these cupcake remixes? And no, don't ask me to play that. Thank you for the gift points. I can't play Cupcake on here, obviously. I'll get suspended. Ugh. Who comes up? Charles. Prince Charles. It's like, why does Prince Charles come up? That's not what I typed. Nightcore? They turned it into Nightcore? I'm dead. Medea is Trump's new communication director. I don't really like Medea. Anyways. They literally turned it into Nightcore. I can't. Yeah. Google came up. That was weird. I didn't even say Google. That was weird. Like the Google voice thing came up. I was like, huh? Again. That time I said it. That time it came up because I said it, but it came up by itself. Look at this. The way that they have the thumbnail. It looks like he's crying. I cannot. Mocks President Trump on classified documents. Huh?
Well, I just want to know I've declassified everything in the world. I'm president. I can do it all. Come on. I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know the detail. I don't even want to know. Let the Justice Department take care of it.
I remember there's some funny videos where they literally post Joe going on a tangent. He sometimes he out of pocket stuff because he just keeps going and going. He just says whatever. A grim prediction. But should we really be listening to Bill Maher? I don't know. Didn't he get in trouble for something? Why? It's I know what people are going to say. You're always in drama. Hey, I just know about these people because sometimes they come up on my For You page getting exposed. I'm sorry. I can't help it. That's my For You page. Why won't I stream twice? I didn't say I wouldn't stream twice. No. Song and not art. And they turned it into Nightcore. Oh my lord. Another Nightcore. That's a different one.
Tam, I'm in the chicken. You're getting chicken. I'm in the chicken. You shouldn't even be quiet on that. So earlier, because I know you guys were on my mom's station, some of you guys probably were, but earlier I was watching WWE Treasures. And I think that's a really cool show. I think you guys should watch that. I watched the new episode. They were looking for all the memorabilia from D-Generation X. And so that's what I was watching. The first one, which was a rerun, they were looking for all of Stone Cold Steve Austin's memorabilia. And Stone Cold Steve Austin had mailed this guy his knee brace.
because, you know, that was a fashion statement back in the day. Like, Stone Cold Steve Austin always wore a knee brace. And some of his greatest matches were won with a knee brace. So one of the, because like Mick Foley, he's like kind of the whole, like, how do I say? I don't want to say he's kind of like the host, but he's the main guy that goes around and looks for this stuff. And there was a belt that he asked him to like donate for display, because that was the belt that Stone Cold Steve Austin won when he thought he was going to be paralyzed. I was like, I didn't know that. It was a match where he was fighting Owen Hart, and they did a move, like I think it was the suplex or something. And he couldn't even move. He thought he was going to be paralyzed. I was like, I did not know that. Just like I didn't know, because I was looking at the documentary. I forget. It's on, is it on Soap Today or something? Like, you know, the like websites like 123 Movies or something. And I was watching Ric Flair's documentary. And I didn't know Ric Flair almost died in a plane crash, that Ric Flair survived a plane crash. And I was like, I also didn't know that Ric Flair was sold as a child. Like, when he was a baby and he was born, they would sell kids to this orphanage, like, for money. And I didn't know he was sold. I was like, what? He didn't really know who his real parents were. I never knew any of that about Ric Flair. I was like the stuff that you learn about these people, I was like, dang, I didn't even know that. I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. But yeah, I'm like, that's interesting. There was a lot of stuff that he was talking about his life, and I was like, I didn't even know that. You know? Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for following. And thank you for spamming the likes. We got to 100K, guys. Thank you. Thank you. But, yeah, I was like, I didn't even know that about Ric Flair, because Ric Flair never knew his, Mom, you didn't even say excuse me. Jesus. How to sing to a friend? You want advice like that? That's not really an advice thing. But he, like, cause I think it was because he actually found, was it his brother reached out to him, or a sister or someone? His real brother or his real sister reached out to him, because they did some research and he found out that they were related. Him and Ric Flair was related, so. Do a talent show? No. Like, the people that do talent shows, I don't think I would do that. Because, you know, people will come on and start trolling. And then that's when it gets to a point where it'll get crazy. And, you know. And also, so there's a thing going around, which I don't know if it's still going around, but people have to be leery and careful about who they add in the box. So if I was to add anyone, it would have to be someone that I've known for years. Because there's people going around, because they're taking advantage of the strike system. Because, you know, on TikTok, they no longer do community guidelines because of the going to Washington and all that. They got stricter. So it strikes. If you get one strike on your page, it automatically tells you, like, you get another strike and you're permanently banned from your page. So there's people going around taking advantage. What they'll do is they'll try to pretend like they're going to hop in, like, debate live streams or live streams in general of POC live streams or black people's live streams. They'll act like they're trying to get in the box, and then they will flash themselves and cause the person to get banned. Because if someone, this is how the new, like, rules and stuff go on TikTok. So if someone gets reported and gets taken down, that's in, like, the guesting box, it affects your whole live stream. So, like, if you're guesting with someone and their live stream gets taken down for being reported, your live stream will get taken down too. even if you didn't do anything and they did. So yeah, because someone had mentioned that on their live stream, that someone they knew, it happened to them and they lost their live stream privilege. I was like, that's not cool. Like, I don't understand why people do that, but because I know you guys want to hear the stories. I'll tell you about a story about, I didn't see this person technically exposing themselves, but they were on Musical.ly. Okay, so back like a long time ago, you know, during Musical.ly times, they would have like the duet feature where it would say like duet, like the most popular videos, one of which was like Baby Ariel, right? At the time it was like Baby Ariel, Selena Gomez. This is like a throwback to like Musical.ly. And so there was this account that had like followed me or something. I remember I had saw it and it looked like a Baby Ariel fan account. So it was like, they're live. And I thought it was Baby Ariel, but then I was like, oh, it's probably a fan account. I went into the live. And when I tell you what I witnessed, I couldn't believe, like, Musical.ly, which was Lively at the time, even allowed that live stream to go on. I was like, people need to report this live stream because kids should not be seeing this. This guy was full on. You could just, like, I don't even want to repeat. He was, like, the noises, like, you know, he was, you know, to himself on a live stream. He stopped, right? Because I was, like, the only person who had, like, went in the live. Because I went in and he saw that I had joined. It was like he kind of got a little startled because I had joined, and it was like me and him, because I was like the only person in there. I was like, oh no, and it was a lot worse because I was like, I'm the only person in this chat. Like, this is awkward. Like, this is awkward. And so I got out of the live real quick. I was like, no, like, I had to get out of that live, and I told people, like, I said, report that live because kids should not be seeing that. If a kid goes like, and now my Siri just turned on. It's like all the, like, it's like if the CIA is listening or something, FBI. Anyways, yeah, I told people to report that live. And that's not the only thing. Like, someone had told me, like, it happened to, like, the flashing thing happened to them on Musical.ly. They said one time they added someone to their box, right? Because they were underage. Because, like, I was, like, a teen when I started Musical.ly. I was a teen at the time. And so this person was like, I added someone to the box and I got flashed. Like, they literally flashed me. I was like, what the heck? I was like, whoa. And they were like, yeah. I was like, that's not cool. But thank you for the gift points. Yeah, I had joined the live stream and it was awkward because he was literally like loud. Like, you know, I can't really say it because I'm trying to be PG-13. But he was like, I don't know if it was a couch or a bed. You couldn't really see because obviously he wasn't showing himself. He was doing it off camera, but you could tell. And it was like, he like, because like I had joined and it was just me and I was like, oh no. Because I'm like, please don't respond. Don't say anything to me. Just act like I didn't join. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave real quick because I don't want to hear if he speaks or says anything. Oh, jeez. Like, he was just going at, like, that's enough pertaining to something like that in real life, actually, that I didn't see, but my friend saw. Because, yeah, I'm going to try to say this as best as I can, PG, because, you know, I'm not going to, like, adult themes on here, no, PG-13, but that's, okay, so, I don't know if that was, I think that was the day my friend wanted me to hang out with her, and I was like, I can't, I think I had to mentor at the art studio. So she's sitting at the bus stop, and this guy just literally in front of the movie theater laid down, you know, pulled his pants down and, you know, started in front of the movie theater. And that's not even the half of the story. This guy walked right up to him and starts filming him like that. I'm like, what in the like what like my friend told me that she's like, I see this guy and it's like he's going 100 miles per hour in front of like the movie theater. People are just walking by like nothing. I was like, bro. And she's like, this guy walked across the street and put his camera on and started filming him. I was like, the things that, because I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so you see a lot of stuff, right? My friend, she didn't care, right, when it came to things. And you know how they had like the tabs on the popcorn buckets where you get like a free refill of popcorn, and sometimes people throw it away and like people will take it out of the trash and like get free like popcorn. I'm a germaphobe, right? So I cannot anything like that. Like I like told her no. If it came from the trash, like no, like leave it there. Like I don't take stuff out of the trash, right? And she's like, she tried telling me, she's like, there's pills for that you can take that can help you. Because, she tried to tell me that pills would help me, so I wouldn't be like, ugh, right? So we were sitting, there's this guy that, he has issues and problems. And he sort of kind of talks to himself too sometimes, and he lingers around the bus station. We were in the bus station waiting for the bus, and he goes right to the trash and just starts like, just like threw up TMI. And like, it was disgusting. And my friend looked at me and said, now I know why you don't get anything from the trash. I was like, exactly. You see? Like, I was like, like, after she saw that, she like changed. She never got anything from the trash again. I was like, what is happening? There's you see a lot of weird stuff downtown. If you go downtown, you'll see a lot of stuff. Like, not as bad, but you do see stuff. Like, I didn't see that guy, but I was like, dang, in front of a movie theater. And there's like, usually at a certain time, there's like a school bus that drops kids off there. And I'm like, there was, yeah, that's about it. I don't know if I have like any really more like crazy stories other than what my friend had told me, but yeah. No, I haven't. No, I've never smoked anything. I don't smoke. Well, actually, that's a lie. Non-nicotine, actually, vape, but non-nicotine, and because me personally, I don't do anything that's addicting. I know that like you can't say that word on here, but like the leafy green, like that's not a drug and it's not addicting because it helps people, with their pain. But when it comes to certain things like cigarettes and smoking, that's disgusting. Because my dad smokes and but I don't do things that are super addicting because yeah, then it would be hard to quit. So when I was training at Goodbyes Goodwill, that's when I said, oh, I want to like buy a vape because you can do like no nicotine. And so yeah, I had a vape and I still have that vape. A boy story? I don't have a boy story. The only thing I have is crazy stalkers. I don't really have boy stories besides crazy stalkers. Yeah, I had I told you guys this story. So there was this guy. So there was this area we lived in. It's by the university. And that area is real bad when it comes to like crime and stuff. And so I remember I had to go do something, go to the convenience store. and I was crossing the street, and this guy pulled up. He had like bloodshot eyes. You could tell he was drinking. This guy, I don't know, like some people could drive really good when they're drunk. I guess they don't really swerve. And so he stopped as I was crossing, and I was getting ready to cross, and he's like, psst, psst, come here, you know? Like, and I was like, I'm not coming to your truck. Like, bro, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know you. Why would I go and talk to you like that? Like, I don't talk to random strangers. So I just kept walking, right? Ever since then, this guy just, like, watched me, right? Like, I don't know how he knew if he waited or where he was. But when I would be at the bus stop, like, waiting for the bus, because I took the public bus, to go to the store, like, which was right down the street, like Smith's, every time I would wait for the bus, he would be driving in and out of side streets. Like, I would see him drive out of a side street and look at me, and I'm like, how does he know, like, when I'm out at certain times? Like, how does he know? Because, like, I know that you have a certain schedule. I didn't have a schedule. It was just whenever I needed groceries, I would just go to, like, Smith's and get groceries whenever I needed it. It wasn't just like all the time at like a set time. I could understand like if you like go somewhere at the same time, then people start remembering your schedule and that's how they know. But he started like driving out of side streets and he would like watch me all the time. That's not the only guy that was stalking me at the time. There was a guy that was like old enough to be my grandpa. And every time he saw my mom, like on the bus somewheres or he saw her somewheres, he would be like, where's your daughter at? All the time. And I'm like, that's weird. So anyways, this guy kept like watching me just like all the time. So then I go to the gas station one day. We had a really bad time at that time, me and my family. So as you guys know, for certain reasons I couldn't call the police. I had went into the convenience store and I'm coming out. This guy parked at the stop light. There's like, you can either turn right or left. There was no straight. Because there was an abandoned gas station if you like drive across, like, but they turned it into like a Zumba thing. But anyways, I'm walking out and he stopped. It's a red light. He tries to get his seatbelt out. He's trying to unbuckle to get out of his car. And so, like, someone was like, you should have ran. It's a good thing I didn't run. I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I go inside? I just stood there. This cop pulled up, thank God. And when the cop pulled up, he stopped taking his seatbelt off. And just, like, when the light turned, he didn't go fast because obviously the police was there. But he just turned and I never saw him again. He just, like, left and I never saw him. And then the other guy, no, I don't think his nickname was Chewy or something. My friend's daughter had a friend, and I would talk to her mother. And so my friend says she needs to watch it with that guy because he's weird. And I was like, yeah, that guy is weird. That was the guy that I had mentioned earlier that would always ask my mom, like, where's your daughter at? Like, I was 19 at the time. I was like 19 at the time, and this guy was old enough to be my grandpa. Like, he would always ask me where I'm at. So I remember one time he parked across the street in his van. And so I was walking back from the gas station, and he's walking across the street, and I'm like, oh my God, what does he want? Because he's coming towards me, obviously. And he literally just didn't even ask me, and he went in to like kiss me, but I had like turned. So he had like kissed my cheek or something, and I was like, I gotta go. And I just like walked real quick because I was like, I gotta go. And I just went real quick home. I was like, I was trying to process, like, it literally was SA. I was like, that was not even, like, I was SA'd like 3 times, let's just be honest. Like, I told you guys the time on the bus, but there was another guy that tried to do that at the bus stop, right? There's this guy, okay, so after that guy, like, he would see me on the bus, and he would be, like, really weird that guy that was like old enough to be my grandpa, he would like just he wouldn't even ask about me anymore, and he would just like, he had like a mean demeanor or an attitude or something. And at the time, my friend's daughter used to talk to him, or my friend's daughter's friend used to talk to him, and she was like in middle school, and I'm like, her mom needs to watch out for him because he's a weirdo. And I like explained to my friend, because I was like, she shouldn't leave him alone with her, because like, you know, for safety concerns. There was this place that we lived at, because these two areas, we lived in the same area, but it was by the airport. There was this one guy, he does this a lot. Like, he'll go from women to women, like random women on the bus, and just like get with random women. I don't know what it is about them. Sometimes you'll see him with his arm around just like a bunch of women, right? So he walks up, and I already like have this feeling like, oh, something's gonna happen. I already knew, like, I had this like feeling. He just like asked what time it was. I gave him the time. I was being real friendly. And then out of nowhere, he's like, did you ever think you would date a guy like me? And I'm like, huh? What is this? You asked the time, and then now all of a sudden you say that. Then he tried to go to come in for a kiss or whatever at the bus stop. And at that time, that's when we were living in our studio. And my mom had, like, 'cause she knows what time the bus was coming. And she had, like, came out, like, at that time. And, like, we were, like, apart, though. We were standing apart. And so, like, she starts telling me something. And once he saw that was my mom, he just, like, left. He just left. He disappeared. I was like, shoot, he's gone. It's just, like, yeah, I'm okay. But, like, that was, like, really crazy. Like, I don't know, just like instances like that. That's what I tell people. Unless I have absolute reason, if I'm by bus to go out anywhere, like if I have to go to Walmart or go to places where it's like just going there and coming back. Like, the one time when the old apartments that we just were living in, at the bus stop, this like guy was like, he pulled up. It was a red Corvette, and he's like, what time does the bus come? Like, how often does the bus come? And I was like, every 30 minutes, you know, because I thought maybe he was going to, like, go pick someone up and bring them. Then he starts asking really weird questions, like, do you have a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, I would have liked to flirt with you or date you or something. I'm like, bro. He's like, do you need a ride? And I was like, I don't need a ride. I waited for the bus, right? I get on the bus, and he literally is, like, following the bus. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, that's like, what I don't need. So I go in. I went all the way to Walmart for nothing because I got the main thing. I forgot the main thing at home that I needed, which was the reason why I went to Walmart. And so then I had to wait because I said, I'm going to wait before I leave to, like, make sure that he's completely gone. I'm just going to wait because, you know, he might still be waiting and try to follow me home. And I'm like, I don't need him to follow me home because that would be a lot worse. And so I waited in Walmart, and then I saw the neighbors that used to live there, and because I thought they lived there still. So I was like, you know, I can walk with them to the bus stop. It'll be safer. So I walked with them to the bus stop. They didn't get off where I got off because I guess they had moved. But I was like, that's good enough, at least. And then I was like looking around because, you know, you have to be aware of your surroundings. So I was just like looking around and making sure that I didn't see the car. And I was like, good. And I just went home fast as I could because I was like, I don't need him to like start following me or start watching me, you know. Like, thank you for the gift points, but like, it's crazy here. I mean, it's bad everywhere, but yeah, it's crazy. And like I said, that was not the only person. There was this guy that was from here that I told you guys. He just kept pressuring. He was like, let's go out on a date. Let's go out to eat. And I was like, bro, no means no. Like, and he just kept on. And there was like this place where he messaged me. And then he like found my Instagram and started messaging me there, and I was like, stop. Like, there was a lot of creepy guys on the internet too. Like, one guy, I remember there's an app that I used to go live on. And, no, actually it was Likey. You know the app Likey that's like TikTok? All these apps are owned by ByteDance. So, Likey is the worst of them because you can actually, like, before, like, I know Musically, was it Musically? They had where you could message people on Musically. So, Likey, they have where you can message people. One person said, they asked if they could send a picture of their, and I was like, what the heck on Likey? And Likey had a lot of, like, kids on there. They had a lot of, like, underage kids. I don't know if Likey's policy is like that. They should change it because they don't really monitor the age. So, there was a lot of kids in elementary school who were being bullied on the app as well, and they would make videos crying, saying, like, I got bullied. And there was one girl who was, I don't know, I shouldn't say anything, but anyways, yeah, it was bad on there. Like, the stuff that I've witnessed was crazy. And I remember one time I got a message from this guy, or it was in the live or something, and he was like, I want to fly down and marry you. I was like, marry me? You don't even know me. Like, first of all, this guy's like, I want to fly down to America to marry you. I'm like, is this an arranged marriage? Like, are you trying to have an arranged marriage with me? Because that's crazy. Like, this dude didn't even know me. He's like, I want to marry you. I was like, and he was not joking either. And I was like, you don't even know me. And he just kept going. He just, like, kept trying. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to marry you. I don't even know you. Like, well, an arranged marriage means, I know what an arranged marriage is. It's literally like when they have someone who is, like, already picked out for, like, the bride or the groom, right? They already have someone and they say they have to marry at a certain age. But, like, just, like, all of a sudden, like, well, I guess it could be kind of considered, like, 90-day fiance, kind of. Except not 90 days, like, what? Like a week fiance or something, because that's crazy. Just, like, out of nowhere, he was like, I want to fly to America to marry you. I was like, I don't even know you. And that was not the half of it. Like, the weird people on Instagram and DMs that I used to get, there was one guy. All because he's from another country, so every time at, like, 3 a.m., he would, like, message me. He would be like, so what are you doing? I'm going to sleep. Like, I was literally getting ready to go to sleep. And he would be like, what are you doing? And then when I didn't answer, he was like, why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you answering? And I'm like, I go to sleep at this time. I sleep. And, I don't know who he was. He just was like, literally, he said, I want to marry you. And I was like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know you. And so this guy was like, started becoming obsessive and was like, what are you doing? And he would be like, where do you live? How old are you? What are you wearing? I'm like, pajamas? Like, what do you think I'm wearing? Like, because I forget how it started. I think because most of these people started out friendly. And then they started, like, taking a turn and, like, the DMs, and it was just like, at this point, no. Like, well, because I thought it would be funny. I thought it would be funny because if he's like, what are you wearing? And I'm like, pajamas. Ha ha ha. That's funny because it's not inappropriate. I thought, like, he would get angry and be like, no, you're lying. And I think he even did. I think at one point, there was one time where he's like, you're lying. And I'm like, no. It's like, and then there was this one person who, at the time, I didn't have a large following, right? This was on music. This was like Musically, and I only had like 5,000, 10,000. I don't remember. I didn't even have a large following. This guy messaged me, was like, "Oh, I love you. I'm such a huge fan of yours." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And it turned so bad after that. He got on video, like he left like the video, you know, you could like make a video and send it in DMs. That's what he did. And he said, "F you." He literally told me, "F you, Tophia." And he goes, "How dare you just say thank you when I said I'm a fan of yours?" I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to say? What more was there to say?" I said thank you. I was being polite. He just like cussed me out. He said, "F you." He said, "How dare you just only say thank you?" I was like, "Well, what else am I supposed to say? You said you were a fan of mine, so I said thank you." Like, what the heck? I had even told, because I was in this group chat and I had told them, I was like, yeah. And I used to get people sending the unsolicited stuff. Now that, they would just like send like unsolicited photos. I'm like, bro, I do not want to see that. And I remember one time, because I have told this story, there was a video that, you know, back then it wasn't really viral, as it was going viral, but it wasn't like, the number then would have been viral in Musically times, because I think it was like 19,000 like comments. I don't know how many views or likes. I have it like privated for a reason. But so I had made a TikTok saying, "To the creepy men of Instagram who sent unsolicited nudes, you're not packing. All you're packing is a Tic Tac," right? That's what I said. All you're packing is a Tic Tac. And I said, "To the creepy men of Instagram." I was not like saying all men, right? The men on TikTok went so crazy. They just like, "That's why you don't have a boyfriend." They got so mad saying that I was body shaming all men. I was like, I said creepy men of Instagram. If that applies to you, right? And they were like so mad. They got so mad. It might still be up or it might be privated. I don't know. They got so mad because they started like saying that. And so, anyways, after I told them that, there was one guy that was like, "I'll show you." He was like, "I'm going to send you a photo to prove that it's not a Tic Tac." I was like, and I think he was like, he called me ugly or something, and I was like, obviously I'm not ugly enough for you to send a photo like that. You just wanted to send it because you wanted to send it. Like, he got so offended that he had to send me a photo proving that it was not a Tic Tac. I was like, bro. And I think he had like a measuring tape too. I was like, no, like, stop. Not the measuring tape. He was like, "I'm going to show you the actual size." I was like, bro. Like, because I was reading like DMs at the time. Because, you know, I used to get the weird, creepy people. And sometimes I got people that I knew that, you know, I responded to. But I accidentally opened it and I saw that and I was like, bro, that was the guy. And I was like, and then there was, yeah, like the unsolicited. And then I think everyone typically got these, generic ones. The ones that are like, "I'm looking for a sugar baby," or or "I want to be your sugar daddy. Like, I'll pay you $5,000 allowance. You don't have to do nothing or send nothing. All you have to do is like chat with me." I'm like, that's a lie. Emotes. Yeah, I need to put more emotes. I keep saying that and then I forget. Sometimes when I get busy doing stuff, my brain, I just forget. A normal encounter? No, when I was with my friends, I did meet a lot of nice people, but Oh, there was like I've never had a normal encounter. There was another creepy guy that I had met while with my friend. Obviously, we were getting the bus, right, and this guy was talking to us about how he was frustrated because he was like, they come ask me for change or a cigarette when they can just go get a job. Like instead of begging, if they just got a job, they would have money, right? And he was just talking to us, and my friend was like talking to him. It was a nice conversation. Then he's like, do you guys want to go to Taco Bell? Obviously, my friend's not going to pass up some free Taco Bell. And I was like, sure, because, my friend was going. Otherwise, like, I don't go with random people. I'm not going to go with someone I don't know to Taco Bell. And since my friend was with me, I was like, sure, because, I said, at least I'm safe. If something happens, my friend is with me. So we get off at Taco Bell, and he's like, I have to go cash the check. So he rode on his bike. And mind you, this guy was old enough to be my dad. So, and he said that he was in the Iraq war. So I don't know. He was a veteran. And so he had just gotten paid and he cashed his check. And my friend said, let's see if he comes back. Let's bet. Like, she didn't make a bet with money to me, but she said, I'm a bet to see if he comes back. And I said, I think he's coming back. My friend didn't believe because she was like, he's probably like leaving to say like he's going to cash his check, but he just left us at Taco Bell and he was lying. Sure enough, he came back. Like, he came back and like we ordered Taco Bell and then we had to go because my friend had to pick up her daughter from school. And so then I don't remember what it was. It was like a Saturday or a Sunday. I used to have like a bus pass that I would get for $10, which is monthly. And I used to go out a lot. Like I would try to find reasons to leave. Like just to go out. I would make sure that I had a place to go, or sometimes I would go like shopping or go look around Target or something. So that weekend I forgot what it was. And I said, I'm going to see, because sometimes if my friend didn't say she had plans, sometimes I would go to the bus station because I know she didn't live far from the bus station. I would wait at the bus station and see if she was there and say like, hey, do you want to hang out or something? Or like go with her on the bus because she didn't mind, right? She didn't care. Like she wasn't the person that really like invited me. Like sometimes I would just wait for her at the bus station and she would just show up and then we would go places. But what happened was that I was waiting at the bus station and he was there and he was like, do you want to go to the movies? And I was like, okay, whatever. And so I had invited my friend because I thought he wanted me and my friend to go to the movies because I was like, okay. I told my friend like let's he said let's go to movies or something, right? And so my friend came and her daughter, and she said my mom's coming too. And that's when we went to go see the movie Ouija, because I really like scary movies. And so we went to go see Ouija. Her mom came, right? And it was funny in the movie theater because her mom was real funny. Her mom walked with a walker, but we were like up front at like the very front seats to like see the screen. And so we had gotten our snacks and stuff, and we get into like the theater, and like there's one part in the movie where it was like I think she was at the sink or something, and my friend's mom yelled out of nowhere, "Hurry up and die!" And I just like started laughing because I'm like, people are probably trying to watch the movie, and all of a sudden this old lady is screaming, "Hurry up and die!" Like, because I guess she knew it was coming. And so, anyways, when we're walking out, right? So they're walking ahead and he's walking behind, like next to me. And he like tells me maybe next time it could be just me and you. And I'm like, and that's when it clicked. I was like, he wanted me to go to the movies with him by myself. And it's a good thing that I was like, it's a very good thing that I invited my friend along because no, sir. So then we get to Taco Bell because we got to the bus stop. I don't know why we got off or I don't remember if we decided at the movie theater. I think we got off because we went somewhere, or I don't remember. And then, like, her daughter was like, I'm hungry. So he was like, why don't we go to Taco Bell and I'll buy us all something to eat? And we were like, okay. So we get to Taco Bell. It's like getting late at this point. It's like 8 o'clock, I think. And it was like dark. So I was like, you know what? I'll just tell my mom that I'm going to spend the night at your house, my friends, because it was getting late and I wouldn't have made it home. So I was like, I'll just, where I was at, it was kind of close, but it was kind of like far by bus, and I wouldn't have, because like the last bus runs till a certain time. And so I was like, I'll just go spend the night at my friend's house. So we're eating Taco Bell. I get up because I went to get a spoon because, I always get a taco salad. And so I was walking to get a spoon, and I get a text, and her daughter had texted me saying, he was staring at your butt while you were walking. And I was like, what the heck? Like, that's weird. So I was like walking, like, I was trying to be funny, walking like James Bond, and like covering my behind, like walking like James Bond to be funny. And her daughter started laughing, and then so we were talking about like me spending the night at her house, right? And I had called my mom and got everything settled. Out of nowhere, like because he heard the conversation, he was like, you could come sleep with me at my apartment. I'm like, no, I don't know you, first of all. Why would I sleep at some random man apartment? I was like, for all I know, you could be standing over the bed watching me sleep. No, thank you. Like, he was like, if you don't have anywhere to go, he was like, you can stay with me at my apartment. And my friend was like, no, we've got it. She's like, she could stay with me. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I already told my mom I was going to stay with her anyways. And so I went with her to her apartment. I was like, you see that? He tried to get me to go to his apartment. Who knows what he could have done? She was like, yeah, no. I was like, and then, because the Walmart here, by where I lived, these apartments, he goes here because I saw him one time, and luckily he didn't see me. I was like, thank God. But there was one time I was downtown, and I was waiting to cross the street, and I could feel someone was behind me, right? I turn around, and it was him on his bike, and I'm like, I hope he doesn't notice that it was me. Clearly, obviously, because I turned around, and obviously because he probably could tell from, like, looking from behind that it was me. I was like, oh, no. He didn't even say anything to me, and I just kept going. I was like, no. And then I remember one time, there was this guy, I literally ate him up. When I tell you I ate this guy up, I don't remember. I remember it was something racist he said, I think. I can't remember if he said I think he said he was an ex-cop or something, right? But he had said something real racist about black people on the bus. Me and my friend and her daughter was on the bus, and we were like sitting up in the front seats. That's like for the handicap. You could sit there, but if a handicapped person like comes and there's no like seats, then you would have to stand up. So we're sitting there, and this guy is just like going off. I think he said something like real racist, and it infuriated me. And I told him off, and you know how, like, because he had said he was a cop, I said, why don't you effing go eat bacon, you pig, or something like that. Like, I got so angry. Everybody on the bus was just like, they couldn't believe it, because, like, I had ate him up, and they were like, they agreed with everything I was saying, because that dude really said some, like, racist stuff, like, racist. And I was like, bro, like, and there was I don't know, and he was, like, kind of older. I don't know what it is about older people being so angry. There was, like, this old man at the bus stop who tried to start problems for no reason, trying to, like, I don't know what it was that he said, something accusing people of unaliving, or I don't remember what it was at the bus stop, I guess because someone was smoking or something like that, I don't remember. And I said, I had a cousin who was unalived by a drunk our nephew, because my cousin's son was unalived by a drunk driver he lived. He was 1 year old, and he was in the hospital doing fine, and then all of a sudden his brain swelled. He was feeding through a tube, and all of a sudden his brain swelled, and he didn't survive. And so I had said, I don't remember what it was which brought up the subject, and I said, I had a nephew who was unalived by a drunk driver, and it's people like you. And I went off on him, and like, he didn't have anything else to say, because I was like, I don't let, like, if someone says something, I'm not gonna let that slide. Like, I'm like, if I was one of those people that saw, like, someone being racist to somebody else, I would speak up, because I wouldn't allow that at all. Like, yeah, it's okay. I don't know if that was the one that I met once. Because I know I met one of my cousin's sons when he was a baby. But yeah, it was all over the news. She got so much donations, she was able to pay for the funeral. She got a brand new car. They were getting married at the time, because we were staying with my grandma at the time. And they got married. And they were buying a house. They bought a house with donations. They got like $50,000 in donations. I know that they paid for the funeral. They got a brand new car, because obviously their car was totaled, and they got a house. One of my cousin's sons was unalived by a drunk driver. And I was talking about they got donations from people. They got a lot of donations.
I think the biggest surprise is how powerful it is. Such a small contraption. I mean, this thing will go through ice like nobody's business. This is quick and easy, it's compact.
Yeah, that's because people want stories, so I give you this. Thank you for the gift points. Do you like Mac Miller? Yes, I do like Mac Miller. But yeah. You like TXT? Yes, I do like TXT. I want to get more K-pop albums. I don't think that works, but okay. Not the infomercial. Do you have any love interest? You mean, do I like anyone? Yeah, but... What time is it there? It is 2:05. What's the charge? 44%. We're sort of good, but I'm gonna get off soon because I'm getting sleepy. My mom, I'll tell her once she gets out of the fresh. Pasta, isn't it? Pasta. You say pasta. One more story. I'm trying to see if I have a story. I know I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
To order, call 1-800-693-8129 or go to buybionicblade.com. Call 1-800-693-8129. That's 1-800-693.
I'm trying to think of something else I was gonna say, and I totally blanked. Cause like I told you, there was one. I told you this story already, but when I was in college, and cause I was sitting in the grass. Thank you for the gift boys. They were doing like some yoga thing, and I was gonna do it, and I had gotten to the field early, so I was sitting there just waiting for like them to start it. And then what happened was is that this church group was like barbecuing. They were playing volleyball, and they're like, "Do you want to play? Do you want something to eat?" Because I guess they were recruiting people, not like recruiting people for the church, but getting people to try to join their church. And so they usually have like parties at their house. Like this one person, they had a party at this person's house because he had a pool table, and we would play pool all the time. And so I remember we had went there, and they have like a gathering every week. They get people together and say, "Do you want to come over and hang out?" And I was like, "Okay, cool, sure." And so I remember this person, he walked me home because they were like, "Can you like make sure she gets home safe?" And so we're walking, and this guy, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on TikTok because the way he was dressed in his head, he looked like a skinhead. You know what a skinhead is? Just look it up. And so, he's walking, and we're walking like, right, and he's walking the other way, and we're walking that way to my dorm. And he just looked at us, right? He like stopped and looked at us because he was talking to us. And he said, "I just love the smell of napalm." And I was like, bro, we just looked at each other like, what? And if you, like, obviously I think that, like, line is in the movie Silence of the Lambs, but napalm is also, like, bomb. Like, a bomb, like, boom. That, like, and he just, like, walked up and he just told us, "I love the smell of napalm." And I'm just like, just keep going. Like, because at that time, because what was really weird is off in the very distance, I heard something that sounded like a boom, like a bomb go off. And then when he had said that, I was like, I'm just going to go inside because I was like, I don't know what that sound was I heard, but and it was way off in the distance. Obviously, it sounded like it was not on campus. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep going. I just got home and I was like, that was weird. And I remember there was one time, okay, so when we went on this Vail trip, like I told you guys, I went on that trip with the church group. I guess they felt bad and picked up this hitchhiker. What possessed, I don't know, obviously church people, they just, the kindness of their heart. Why they would do that, I don't know. This girl was nice, right? I don't think that she was a bad person until it got worse. So one of the guys, I don't know if he fell in love with her or what, but there was like two guys that were like friends that were staying in a dorm together. Ended up taking this girl to their dorm and like having her live there for a while. I was like, why? What would possess you to do that? They dropped her off, and then she was living with them. And one time they came back, and their whole room was cleared. Like she had cleaned it. She cleaned the room for them while they were gone. And the guy said, "I had enough of this." He was like, "You need to tell her to leave." He was like, and I kept telling him he needed to tell her to leave, but she wouldn't leave. And he was like in love with her or something, and he was refusing to tell her to leave. And one of the girls that was real nice that would come have lunch with me sometimes, she would be like, "I'm coming to have lunch with you." And I'm like, okay. She like was telling us, she kept asking the girl like, when's your bus? So I can take you to the bus, and that way you could get the bus wherever you were going. My mom's gonna say, excuse me. Thank you for following and thank you for sharing. And so, she was like, I kept trying to ask her when her bus was, what time her bus was coming, to take her to the bus stop because I was going to drive her there. And she just kept like dodging the questions. She wouldn't even answer. So I just stopped asking, and I was like, Yeah, these, like, I don't know how people could have some random girl living with them, especially because she's not allowed to be in the dorm. But she was there, and he was like, I had enough. Tell her to leave. He was like, I'm getting really sleepy, guys. Jerry curls? I don't have Jerry curls. My dad had, well, so he said he had Jerry curls, but my mom said no. But he did have, they used to put that, like, back in the day, they used to put a lot of grease in their hair. Oh my God. That's like I don't know if you guys seen Coming to America with, Eddie Murphy, the Soul Glow, and then the whole family, like, of the guy that owns Soul Glow, I forget his name, when they got up from the couch, and it has the grease stains from where they were on the couch. That's what it was like. My mom said you could have probably lit his hair on fire. Because he said, I remember I had a Jerry curl, and my mom was like, that wasn't even a Jerry curl. I don't know what that was. I was just like, oh my Lord. Because, the only pictures that I had of my dad was when I was in a pageant. And he was bald. So I never saw him whatever hairstyle he had then. I was like, okay, I guess really weird would have been kids with that hairstyle. So I kept seeing what he had because my mom said he just put a lot of grease in there. And he walked around like that. Was like, what? Oh. No, it's like infomercial. It's one of those infomercials. But I was like, that's what it probably would have been like if you found out from the couch. Was like the scene from like Come to America when they got out and there was like the scenes on the couch. Because I was like, dang, I really wanted to see what hairstyle he had because, yeah, the only thing I've seen is my dad bald. I've never seen him with like really, really long hair, so. But yeah, give us a room tour. No. Dave Paul Breach, ew. I'm gonna have to get off soon because I'm getting sleepy. Come to the UK, but for what? I really do want to go visit the UK to visit the famous cemeteries. I think Jim Morrison's buried in the UK, but I know it's not definitively like marked that it's his gravesite, but Freddie Mercury's buried in the UK too. There's like a place that people say that that's where he is, but there's like no marker. There's like no like headstone or tombstone or something. No, in Paris? Yeah, that's probably where it was because there's this channel I watch. There's two channels I watch. Hollywood Graveyard. And then there's this guy I watch, Jordan the Lion, on YouTube. Hollywood Graveyard just like shows you where famous grave sites are so you can go visit because they're open. So like these grave sites are open for you to go see, but if you ask the people at the front desk, they can't tell you because they're gonna tell you to go find it yourself. They'll give you a map. And this is huge because that not Hollywood Graveyard, but that that place is huge. So it would take you a long time to find anybody. So this guy decided what he was going to do is find these celebrity graves and like make videos to let people know where they're at. In the process, he started finding other famous people, and that's what he did. If he would find someone famous, he would talk about them and how they were famous and stuff. Thank you for the gift point. He would like make a video and say, oh, this person made this song or something like that. And then he would, as he was finding people, he would film them. My nose is super itchy. And so that's what he did, and he became popular on YouTube because he started filming celebrity graves.
So that parents could come, kids could come down from their beds.
You texted me? I don't know. I don't have any messages and requested. No, I'm straight. I wouldn't date a girl. But yeah, he would just film like, because there's like a bunch of famous grave sites in California, because there's the Hollywood Forever, which Hollywood Forever is really cool. That's the one where they show like black and white movies on Friday, I believe it is. Like every Friday or Saturday, one of those two. They always show a black and white movie at the graveyard. So it's like Hollywood Forever, and then there's the 2 forest lawns. The 1 forest lawn where Michael Jackson is at, but you can't go into the mausoleum because it's like only family or like really close family members can go in there. So yeah. Would I date a guy? Of course, I'm straight. And then there's the other cemetery where Paul Walker's at, that one. And then the cemetery where Marilyn Monroe is at. And then I think, I don't know if that's the cemetery or there's another one. There's a cemetery that's only for like Jewish actors or Jewish celebrities. It's a special reason why they're buried there. Like it's their like culture, it's their custom, why they have to be buried there. And the thing that I didn't know about these like Jewish actors, actresses, and Jewish people is that they can only have their headstone for like a certain amount of time, and then they have to take it down. So some of the graves become unmarked, and I was like, I didn't even know that. Unless they get buried in tomb, you know, like in a tomb, where I don't know if you've seen like the mausoleums or the entombed, then of course. To my wedding, I guess.
So is this the general idea?
I just want to see a lot of these famous grave sites. I don't know if that's really weird, because I think it's my nose is super G. What's the one? Hollywood Forever is where Richie Valens is at, and Jordan the Lion. He's a guy that films a lot of famous places in California. He goes to like a lot of places where famous people used to live. Like he went to one of Kurt Cobain's houses in California. Jim Morrison's house. I think that's County Cars or something. I met one of the guys from that show, but anyway, so my stomach is hurting. Anyways, he films like places famous where infamous things happen, like murders and stuff like that. And he like shows cool places like filming sites in California, just like really cool things, because he lives in California. And he has a lot of stories because he's met a lot of famous people. There was one time he said he used to be like where he would deliver food. And there was one time where he delivered to, what do you call it? He delivered to Death Row Records. He said when Suge Knight was a part of Death Row Records, he actually delivered to like Suge Knight. He used to be friends with Shelley Winters. I don't know if you guys know who Shelley Winters is, but yeah, at the time she didn't really have no friends. Like she didn't really have family around, and he was like the only person she talked to. So he would go to her apartment and he would talk to her, Shelley Winters. And he just has like, he had a lot of cool stories. So I was like, you're a manager? No, guys, I don't need a manager. So anyways, there was this, so the one cemetery he had filmed at, he was like, you could go see like all of these people, and he had showed like, he also shows famous grave sites too, and famous like places where you can like go and like where celebrities used to live, like the old house where Michael Jackson used to live the day that he died. Just like, I don't know if it's really weird, because like some places, like I really want to go visit, like celebrity graves.
I'm basically just trying to show Cheyenne that there is gold in these hills. You just gotta dig deep and get it.
And he also travels too sometimes, so he'll travel out of state and film stuff. And I think it was him where he went to Abraham Lincoln's tomb. Cause there's a lot of like, there's a lot of weird people that have like weird burials. There was one lady who got buried with a really rare old car. Like she was buried with it. I was like, what the heck? A whole car? Like, there was another guy, I don't know if it was him, I think it was him that where he traveled to a state. I think that's when he saw Lincoln's tomb. There was a guy who bought a plot or something, right? There was an argument or something, and he bought a plot there to be petty, and he was never going to be buried there, and he ended up being buried somewhere else, but he bought the plot to be hateful. I was like, bro.
People remember heartwarming ads, so bundle and save with Liberty Mutual.
I need a sponsorship, guys. I really do. I'm getting tired. And I'm gonna go get some Mountain Dew.
Only pay for what you need.
I mean, not Mountain Dew, Gatorade. Why do I call it Mountain Dew? Gatorade? Did I have any dairy?
Optical shops weren't very inviting.
Oh yeah, it was probably what was made, the Big Mac sauce probably was made with dairy.
We offered more affordable prices, contacts, and eye exams.
And the nuggets. Or maybe it was the cheese in the breakfast sandwich. Because I'm dehydrated.
Your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you pay. NetCredit. Personal loan.
That's really good. I was dehydrated.
Lasting results and easy. Is that possible? It is with Golo.
Refrigerator after opening, but I really needed that. I knew someone was gonna say that. I was like, oop, I didn't mean for it to sound like that, but you should get some Gatorade. I've been seeing these nanotape videos everywhere. It's like some sort of tape where you can tape it together and it makes like squishies and stuff. And she did a gummy bear bag squishy.
원하는 파츠를 넣고 끝부분을 꼼꼼히 붙여주세요. 그리고 얇은 테이프로 고정시켜줍니다. 마스킹 테이프를 감싸고
But yeah. No, it's still light because it's orange and I'm on my crappy Android. Because the iPhone will not go live. Like on the Wi-Fi, it just freezes like every second. And I was like, I don't want to deal with the crappy Wi-Fi.
Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
So yeah. That's why I go live on my Android because it has data. This iPhone is locked. Whoever my brother got it from has it locked. So obviously they might have not paid on their bill or paid off the phone. So the company locked it, which means I can't get service on it.
이번엔 실리콘 테이프로 삼다수를 만들어봤어요. 똑같은 크기의 네
Wait, it's a water bottle squishy, unlike the tape.
오늘은 실리콘 테이프로 하리보를 오늘은 실리콘 테이프로
Why is it not going?
만들어봤어요. 마스킹 테이프를 감싸고
It makes me want to buy nano tape now and do nano tape stuff. They give her the gift points.
글씨도 적어줄게요. 이대로 끝내도 되지만 저는 곰돌이도 붙여주었어요.
Thank you for the money gun. Well, it's the
이렇게 해서 하리보 말랑이
Christmas gun. Thank you.
이번엔 실리콘 테이프로 삼다수를 만들어봤어요. 똑같은 크기의 네모를 2개 자르고 끝부분을 둥글게 만들어줍니다. 끝부분만 붙이고 슬라임을 넣어주세요. 그리고 얇은 테이프로 고정시켜줍니다.
Put it please first. Yeah, I know.
라벨도
You guys
만들어줄게요.
don't know that. I'm getting tired, sleepy. No, I drink water when I'm off of live. And when I'm on live too. Thank you for the donut.
빈 종이로 뚜껑도 만들어 주었어요. 테이프로 붙이면 삼다수 말랑이 완성!
That doesn't look practical. I don't know what I would name my kids. Thank you for the gift points. No, I did fall asleep. I'm watching a nano tape video.
똑같은 크기의 네모를 2개 자르고
But I am getting sleepy, so I'm probably gonna go. Because I know I'm gonna be falling asleep on live.
끝부분만 붙이고 슬라임을 넣어주세요. 그리고 얇은 테이프로 고정시켜줍니다. 글씨도 적어줄게요.
Thanks. See you guys. I'm gonna start falling
색종이로
asleep.
뚜껑도 만들어주었어요. 이렇게 해서 단지우유 말랑이 완성! 오늘은 실리콘 테이프로 계란 후라이를 만들어봤어요.
These nano tape like designs are cute. No, I can't even. I'm like already nodding off.
노른자색으로 만들어줍니다. 실리콘 테이프를 반으로 접고 끝부분을 잘 막은 후에 주황색 물을
Is that
넣어주세요.
song, guys?
실리콘
Yes, Jesus loves me, for the Bible tells me so. That's what it sounds like.
실리콘 테이프를 반으로 접고 끝부분을 잘 막은 후에 주황색 물을 넣어주세요.
Thank you for following.
이걸 흰자에 올리면 계란 후라이 말랑이 완성!
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep.
실리콘 테이프를 반으로 접고 끝부분을 잘 막은 후에 주황색 물을 넣어주세요.
Anyways, let me open up the chat so everyone can be
이걸
able to
흰자에
comment.
올리면 계란 후라이 말랑이
Cause
완성!
yeah, I'm starting to like doze off and I cannot fall asleep on live. So I opened up the chat, guys. Now everyone can comment. You're free for
이번엔
now.
실리콘 테이프로 마른
But
구슬을
thank you for the
만들어봤어요.
subscribers. Thank you for the
실리콘 테이프를
likes.
반으로 접고
Thank you for watching. Thank you for the gift points.
초록색
And
포미와 원하는
oh,
파트를
excuse me.
넣어줍니다.
I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go get some sleep. So yeah. Bye guys. See you tomorrow.